Well, I just finished watching the video about how parents are suing coaches and school districts now, and even officials, when things don't go their way. And it seems that suing is the best response. Now, the video seemed pretty old, but definitely I think this trend is still going on. If not, it's even worse today than it was in this video. So basically, the main story was just trying to show how in today's society, when something goes wrong or parents feel like their kid is treated unfairly by a coach or by a school or even by an official, that instead of learning the life lesson through that, of learning how to work through adversity or learning how to work through something that doesn't go your way, then now the answer is to be the victim and to sue the the offending party. And so this is really concerning, just from a societal standpoint in terms of like what how parents especially are valuing things and how they're trying to raise their kids now instead of trying to teach them the bigger lessons that life's not about them and what can we learn from sports and what can we learn from even struggles and failure and the lack of playing time or not making the team. Those are valuable life lessons that parents should be there to help their kids through and to help them grow through and how to deal with that stuff in a healthy way rather than just saying that they're victims and that they need, that they deserve some sort of like monetary settlement. No, I think there's healthy ways that parents should be teaching their kids to deal with concerns or with conflict. So if like a kid's concerned about playing time, the parent should teach their kid how to talk to the coach about that. That'd be a really healthy and positive way for that kid to learn and grow, just in life, because there's going to be so many times, as we all know, that things don't go your way, and you can't just be a victim and sue somebody. You have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to deal with that in a more healthy and appropriate way. So those are just some of the like key things that I learned from the video. I learned that it's a little bit concerning now as coaches and athletic directors and just for schools. I think it does put more of a burden on us as coaches and ADs to have really clear expectations and handbooks and guidelines out there. There shouldn't be any surprises at the beginning of a season. There should be clear expectations set forward in terms of how playing time is going to go, in terms of how making the team or getting cut is going to go. Those expectations and explanations and answers should be in place from the beginning, and we should just have every kid and parent just agree to that. And so that way, if there's concerns that come up, we can have a clear like thing to refer back to and say, hey, these were the expectations. This is where we're at. This is the way it's going to be, and we can listen. We can be patient, and we should be. But ultimately, that's going to be really important, I think, is to have that. So for myself as a coach, I definitely want to just like be really upfront about communicating expectations as clear as possible about playing time, about getting cut, about all those things. And I understand that still there's going to be problems, still it's going to come up, but I think that having a clear initial expectation sheet, even in writing, even something that's signed by the student and the parent, will really help then if conflict comes. It'll give us something to refer back to and to agree upon. Um, yeah, I think also it puts a burden on us as coaches to communicate with our players. Like if a player's not playing, I think a good coach should communicate why and communicate how that player can improve. And the coach should help the player understand, hey, here's what I see in you. Here's some areas that you're struggling. Whether that's off the field stuff with character or academics or something like that, or if it's their talent on the field. I think either way, the coach should communicate those things up front to the kid and to share, hey, here's where we're lacking in some stuff, and here's where we need to go. And then the coach, as a coach, should help them get there and help them move that direction. So I think as long as coaches do that, we're going to be fine. A coach will be fine if they're communicating clearly, being consistent with their expectations and with how they treat players and parents and families across the board. That's a big deal, but I mean, I think as long as you have integrity as a coach and are doing the best you can to make the right decisions, to be as fair as possible, and to coach your kids and communicate well with them, I mean, you can't control then, what culture, what parents, and what society's saying to do with that. So that's what I would say. That's my response to the video, and yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Thanks.